It's here, it's now, and we are in onto the Rift for game number 1 of Season 5. Welcome to the League, Dark Jedi and Cross. Welcome to the League officially. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how these teams fare out.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah, where do you want to look first, Chase?
So I am going to be watching for top lane to kind of see how that settles, but I think it's going to be either top or bot where we have the most interaction. Blade is just going to look to hold out in the mid lane against Hui, who has a far superior push in the early game. Just try to farm that out. But Clone on Hui should have way more priority in the early game to be able to move Whittle.
Yeah, and a nice little, you can see Blade trying to get that Raptors ward, but pushed off by Whittle. Now they do get the knowledge that he is going to be starting topside, but that ward actually didn't get in onto the Raptors, and so it will not give that information on that camp timer. So nice heads-up play from both teams, actually. Good play from Blade to try and get that down, and then a nice defensive movement there from Whittle and the Warwick.
That's a nice taunt forward out of Chopples. Soon to connect with 3 autos and leave Dark Jedi of Doom at almost around half HP on level 1. Of course, he will be able to heal up with that Carnivore passive and then getting some level ticks. Should do him well. But nice early engage.
I realized I wasn't caught up to live, and I am now. So, both junglers starting topside. They're transitioning down through mid. It does look like Finn ultimately is a little bit ahead of Whittle in terms of camp speed. This is going to give the Scorch an early advantage in terms of where they choose to send their jungle attention. Cross and Kulka able to farm out respectfully enough down here as the wave will crash on the tower. It does seem like they're kind of settling into the game here, and like we mentioned in the pre-show and during the draft, you know, with a Smolder and a Jace, with a Smolder and a Jinx, there's no reason for them to really rush this lane phase, rush this game forward. I think they're going to be more than happy to just let this game come to them and develop naturally. It does look like he's going to skip. Whittle is skipping his blue buff here to get to the Scuttle 1 camp early, which will let him catch up in tempo to Penultimately. Let's take a look as Penultimately will find it though. Walks down, gets the smite down, so that is smite secured for Whittle, and the first action is going to come through. Flash in from Agateo onto Whittle. Whittle, the healing and the shield from Kulka will keep Warwick alive. Barrier out from Agateo, the claw in as Clone is able on the early roam. However, the damage not able to be returned, and they all will walk out. A beautiful flash heal shield from Kulka to keep his jungler alive and keep the game 0-0.
Yep, 1 additional flash out of the Frost, but really a nice defensive play. Both bot lanes responding at the exact same time to move over. Nagateo looking for that first blood, nicely denied by Kulka. Topside is trading back and forth.
Close here, but we see them brawl it out. Bot side as well. Demi and Agateo rolling in. Kulka brought down extraordinarily low, but Agateo does not have enough to find the finish. Cross dealing damage on the way out as well. Both sides brought very low, but nobody will go down just yet.
Not wanting to commit. They don't want to push their first game out of reach this early on. So both just gonna choose to play it out, back off a little bit, and look to scale. This Scorch team is chosen to go for double scaling in the Vygar Smolder. I've played with this personally on the LCC stage, and it has some issues because you just are pretty weak for quite a while. And so they have Shyvana, who has a high priority jungler, and speaking of that, Whittle guy looking for a dive top? No, just trying for some steal into Penultimately.
Coming to harass here, and is going to find Penultimately. Penultimately did have smite, so able to at least secure the camp, but massive trade of health there. And Whittle is going to now look for a further invade. He's looking for the wolves here, trying to find his brothers as Warwick. This is all spotted out, but what can they actually do about it? Clone trying to get the wave pushed in for the Frost here. Blade under tower has very little mana. I'm not sure if there's anything that they can actually answer this. I'm not sure if they can actually do anything.
Demi on the rotate up.
Demi here on the reset. They are going to look for something. Here's the ultimate in from Clone. will find the kill as penultimately is killed for first blood, and now Whittle Guy trying to find his way out. A taunting from Chapels. They just miss the CC
Blue buff
chain,
going over to
but they
Blade.
will have enough. Kill goes over to Blade. That's, I think, you know, both mid laners picking up kills. I think that more or less works out for both teams.
Yep, not too bad in the end, and penultimately going to be able to continue the clear now after that, after respawning. And yeah, that, for the scaling team to be able to go 1-for-1 there, I think is totally fine. It's a really aggressive play from Whittle, who is, I would say, our most aggressive counter jungler in the league. He's very experienced. He wants to put pressure on the enemy jungle, make them sweat. And we see here that he's not afraid to do so, and I think there's a lot of opportunity to do so when they have this double scaling composition. Shuffles on the rotate down. It's nice to see that they were able to punish the play, but a great pressure out of Whittle.
All right, so 6 minutes in, 1-to-1 in kills. The gold less than 100 is the difference here. And we do see jungle attention now, penultimately turning her eyes to the bot lane, to the bot side of the map. But they will not actually look for a gank here. Instead, potential pings down onto the dragon. It is just the scuttle for now, but they, you know, dragon stacking with Shyvana is definitely a look that they could go for. Kalka and Demi, bot lane partners from last season, drawing blood against each other here on the Rift. Oh, how a couple of months can change everything. Chapels now, the attention, cross map. And infinite duress in from Whittle. Flash out from Chapels, will escape. The damage isn't there quite yet. Mom is going to be called into the bot lane, and crossing Kalka again, having to battle it out. Nice root here down onto Demi, but both these bot lanes really testing each other in terms of, oh, the rocket from Frost will find the kill in lane, and Agateo.
Oh, I pinged
down.
away to look at Clone on the rotate just as he ulted. No.
Huge play there.
Yeah,
And
great.
Cross finds his
Big
first
pickup.
blood onto the all-time LCC kill leader. Look at Whittle here, another massive invade.
Yeah, but at the same time, Dragon being taken, so this invade being traded for the neutral objective. And if they can pick up this first Dragon, it's going to set them up well to make sure that they can get into the late game. But I really like the pressure that Whittle's keeping on with this Warwick, knowing that there's not much assistance that can really come to penultimately on a Shyvana. Dragon's going to be picked up, and then pings down from Whittle onto the topside neutral. And Shyvana is going to want to clear these camps or risk falling behind. Shuffle's on the rotate over, but he's the only one from the blue side.
Yeah, this is probably a good chance to check in on our lanes and itemization. We don't have any full items completed anywhere across the map, but our farm leads a slight, about a 1-wave lead over to Dark Jedi. Jungle exactly even, mid less than a wave, bot, you know, only 7. So extraordinarily close. Both these teams proving to be even and matched, but Clone is looking to make that change as he goes for the solo kill. It's a solo bolo in the mid lane as Clone picks up his first kill of Season 5. And the Frost up 3-0, or 3-1 in kills, but can they get out of this one?
Oh!
Demi is going to pick that one up. Down goes Cross. Whittle is here to at least counter one onto Agateo. He finds a second onto penultimate. What can the MVP jungler do? Demi, flash for flash. It is going to be a 2-for-2 down there in that bot side, so a great counter gank from Whittle to at least even up. A fantastic play from the Scorch.
I'm just... Did you see Demi's ulti there? And then they flashed onto it to hit both? That was nasty. And then the bloodthirsty rundown from Whittle, forcing himself to get a to pick up 2 at the end of the play, and then chasing Demi off, trying for the triple. The MVP trying to show that he's ready for the fresh season. He's got a new squad and he wants to make it happen. Agateo and Demi finding Kalka.
Flap, flap, flap over the wall. Agateo launching forward. but there's not enough damage. Cross now in the
Whittle's
1
on the way.
versus 2, but turning the damage. Look at this Jinx, and now Jinx is fed, Jinx is energized, and they're gonna look and try to turn onto Blade. Blade will get the shutdown, but now Blade in a 1v3, and Cross is there. It's gonna be another kill picked up, and this Jinx is off to the races. 3-1 and 3 at 10.5 minutes in.
Yeah, that lethal tempo stacking up fully and then getting excited. Cross is able to easily finish off that team fight for them. Well, what turned into a team fight as 4 members of the Scorch roll him over, and then 4 members of the Scorch come to the fight and end up taking it for a loss.
Yeah, Kulka really played his life well there. He had just enough healing and shielding, and he wasn't even quite level 6, so Wild Growth was not used in that fight. Look for that to be pretty impactful in this next team fight. Chaffles has got to start to feel the pressure here top lane, and he is going to look for something to taunt forward. But meanwhile, mid, more attention onto Clone. He's used to this after last season. It was the attention of many different ganks throughout the year. Here's ultimate being used down onto Penultimately. Nice trade there, and that will mean that Penultimately unable to skirmish any further. The rocket across, will it find anything? Just wide here.
The little guy on the chase over finds the infinite duress.
Oh, and they're going to find across the map 2 kills as both Penultimately and Blade go down. Nice solo find here from Clone, and that's what, I mean, Frost need this kind of performance out of their players, and they're getting it so far. 10-4 in kills. They're up about 3k gold. The Frost are looking on target here to have a great game. The Scorch need to find a way back in. Have they gone too hard on the scaling? Have they put too
Little guy on the
much
rotate up to top side, going to try to
Blade
catch
in?
Chaffles out on this overextend. Dark Jedi low. They shouldn't. Infinite duress is down.
Yeah, Chaffles has to make something here, but Dark Jedi does have Feast, and they will just capitalize on it. And that is a stack donated over, given over. That's his 4th stack already. Speaking of stacks, we can check out our Smolder up to 91. And we've got 94 on Vigar in the mid lane, so evil.
Respectable numbers. We have our first item completions coming out for several of our lanes now.
Teleport top lane from Blade, though. He's trying to find this.
He's
Does
found
find the
it.
stun and will pick up the kill. So nice use of teleport from Blade, and a nice heads-up play. Just a little bit of a classic LCC overstay there, and that's a welcome to the LCC, Dark Jedi. Okay, they're going for the dive here. Penultimately is here, and they've got the Shen ultimate as well. Demi brought low, perfectly tanked the tower to within an inch of his life. What can Clone find here on the roam over? Is there a snipe to be had? Demi has to find his way out.
What a roam
that's
and what a
3
dive.
for
That
0
looks well.
now.
That's what a dive for week 1 as well. I know we've seen a lot of Chaffles on the Shen. It's a well-known pick for him. He's respected on it. But week 1, pulling out a 4-man dive to the bot side, nobody goes down. It looks very clean. I'm excited for that.
They will, Clone and Little Guy will tempo take this dragon, so that's always good that you can do into Shyvana. But I will say the one thing about these 7 kills, not a single one of them is onto Agateo. And in the past on Agateo's team, if you get him fed, he will deliver you victories. What can he do at 0, 3, and 4? Is he going to have enough stacks, enough farm, enough gold to deliver a victory here for his new organization? Meanwhile, in the 1 versus 2, Clone finds the solo bolo. What a turnaround play in the bot lane as Demi is deleted and
Following that last dive, Brother Frost may have been taking some notes. 4 members roaming down. Agateo alone at the tower. Demi already has dropped. He's got Barrier Flash available to them. But Infinite Duress is here. Mom coming down, trying to clear the wave. Tower down on the lock. Frost dropped to half HP. He's trying to run from Whittle. They don't want to use the Infinite Duress. Nobody falls. And the Frost say, hey, anything you can do, we can do better. They pick up both on the return.
Back-to-back 4-man dive spot. It's not a good game to be an AD carry.
It never is it?
Yeah, so, alright. Chapples and Dark Jedi, they seem to be brawling quite a bit up here, but recently after Tiamat completed, and again, it's not a full completed item, it's just Tiamat, but after that Tiamat completion, Chappell's does seem to be winning these trades a bit more handily, and more attention. Flash taunt in from Chappell's under tower. He will find the solo kill, but a beautiful rupture will mean that he trades it out. It is a nice counter for the Dark Jedi of Doom in the top lane.
Something about this match, I keep going to look at something and then they flash. Dang it. But we have Whittle Guy looking for a rotate into the bot side. He is on vision right now.
Yeah, more pigs here. Demi potentially out of position here, is going to be spotted. They do have everything available. There's the infinite duress in from Whittle. It is going to be instantly used there. Demi flash out and instead will trade his carry's life. So Demi gets away, but Agateo will go down.
I think Kalka with the flash Gigantify really secured that. The Gigantify onto Whittle threw Agateo back into the traps from Jinx. So that's a nice play. And Whittle finding so much success on the Warwick. So much...
Clone and Blade. Look at this top lane skirmish here. It's so close between these two. Demi getting dove bot as well as all of this is happening. Clone has to flash out. It is found. Meanwhile, Demi goes down bot side. So kills across the map here. But a nice find here for Blade and penultimately to pick up that kill. That's a shutdown that they're able to pick up.
Teleport up to the top side for Dark Jedi to catch that wave. Cross under fire from Agateo. May lose his 1v1 barrier out.
It's going to be Shen ulti in. He didn't have the faith that he could handle it in the 1v1, so Shen will ultimate. That will secure that kill, which is good. And that is Agateo now on the board for Season 5. So the only remaining player in this game to pick the kill is Kalka, and then all 10 will have picked up their first Season 5 kill.
Teleport into the mid lane. Penultimately and Shuffles are able to find the tower, but Whittle Guy trying to look for the pick. Doesn't have an infinite to rest, but Locke finds one. Will he find two? Chopples and ultimately on the run.
Flash and forces the fear back, and there's the polymorph now. And ultimately, though, it's split attention. You can see they were not all on the same page. So penultimately gets out, and it costs Clone his life. 1 for 1 in a situation that the Frost wanted, the Frost started. So a great, heads up play there from the Scorch to capitalize from that position.
Yeah, week 1, we may see some of those miscommunications happen, and so far it's been looking really nice on both sides. Everybody kind of moving in the same direction. Unfortunately,
it's a fast-paced
Frost
game.
going to show us like that fumbles happen. Little Guy's still on the rotations, picking up this farm. We have, let's check in on the gold. There is still a 1,000 gold lead for Cross on the bot side. We've got 700 gold lead for Locke in the mid lane. I'm not engage mid.
Both kids are off cooldown, which means we got to use them, and they are going to find another kill with that. That's Whittle Guy up to 9 kills here on this Warwick.
Yep, making the most of all this gold that he's piled onto and picking up a Kraken Slayer and now moving into a Wit's End. So that Infinite Duress is going to hurt. Of course, playing on hit effects as you go. Each of those swipes bringing so much hurt and stacking up that Kraken Slayer's damage.
It does look like this dragon is the focus for both teams.
An unintentional.
Ultimately forced in, and we'll have to ult out. That means there's no way to get actually into the pit here, and this should be going over to Frost. They are going to pull this out, and Dark Jedi will have Feast for this, so can they use it? It is going to be Feast. That is another stack going over. That is 8 stacks now onto the Cho'Gath.
An unfortunate blunder to hit the blast cone, but realistically it was a 5-man contest, so a steal would have been their best scenario. And into Cho'Gath, I think that's a tall ask for anybody.
And it's absolutely, and it's only the second dragon, right?
Yep.
So it's fine to not necessarily force that one. I think with so many, with how fast-paced this game has ended up playing out, there's a lot of gold on the map, a lot of opportunity for people to have items at this point. And so we've had so many kills, well over a kill per minute, almost at 2 kills a minute.
Now let's check in on our stacks. 160 on the Smolder, 161 on the Vigars. We're really keeping lockstep with each other. As we have Whittle Guy always looking for another play when this Infinite Rest is up. Spots Blade out on the map and is walking over for a little look-see. We have Stand United up for Choffles. Of course, only teleport available for Blade on the Scorch. making use of the Stand United to get around the map. For the Ninja,
Dark Jedi with a nice rupture will force Blade to take a pretty defensive route here. Really coming into his own here on the Cho'Gath here in game number 1. One thing I do want to mention is that we have, just while we have 1 second, I think Whittle is about to make a play. But before he does, it's been, this is a Chemtech map. Definitely one of my favorite maps. It makes for really interesting plays with blast moves. But we have no time to talk about that. Flash from Agateo will dodge out the ultimate. What can Mom do as she comes across the rest of the team? Meanwhile, Dark Jedi of Duke is going to walk in forward. Watch out for Kalka. But this Cho'Gath so tanky will go down. Beautiful ultimate in from Chapels. And they stand united. The Shuriman Scorch will burn down to the Frost. What can Cross and Kalka collect for the rest of their team? Health
they
bars,
cannot
low,
give away this
and
excited.
flashing red.
Jinx will be able to run them all down, and they will back away. So Scorch, yeah, great Stand United, going to make sure that they take the W on that play. And that's a great stall out for them, and bringing them a lot closer in the gold total. Only 1,000 gold between the teams now.
Yeah, huge. Still, the gold not really going on to Agateo. Only at 7,000 gold compared to his mid laner 8,500 and his jungler almost 10,000. Pretty far behind in the grand scheme of the game and how much gold Smolder should have. So Jinx in a good position, and it does really look like Clone and Whittle, as well as penultimately, are the ones to keep your eyes on here as the game moves further on in. Blade having a great game here, is going to be looking to continue now with that Rabadon's death cap completed. You know, look to continue to pick up kills. Already 5 on the board, the most for his team, Scorch.
Whittle is not on this side of the map, so Scorch should be feeling comfortable to contest this. It will go over to the Failure Frost. Dark Jedi throwing some laughs out there. Really big lull state at the moment. Big thing to watch out for is where these lanes are going to get shoved to, and that's likely where we're going to have our action happen. We have so much vision down on the map right now, we can just scroll out and highlight that.
Exactly. Both these supports really paying
everything
very
just
close
timed
attention.
out for the Scorch, so we're going to see them retake. But before they do that, we have an in-game spot size.
For a play here on the clone, this would be a good moment. You can see Kalka on the roam down. Will they get out? And he does escape with the flash and the fear. So he had to use flash, but he does get out of trouble there, and that is a massive escape there for Clone.
Things down on the Baron. So this Failure Frost are thinking about it.
Dragon isn't up for 45 seconds, so they do have this window where they can force this, and they are going to just turn their attention straight in onto it. And I think this is something they can do. Meanwhile, Clone teleporting into the Shurima Scorch team. He is going to be instantly obliterated. Now they can turn their attention to the 5 versus 4 team fight. Baron down to under 5,000 HP. Stand United in on a penultimately, but down goes Kalka. Down goes penultimately. Here's Cross on the side, on the Jinx. We'll find Demi. Excited now. Finds Agateo. What can he do? It's a double kill already. There it is. The triple. Chapel's the last one standing. Cross. The quadra kill. And the Failure Frost sweep through that team fight. What a play from the rookie. What a play from Failure.
That Get Excited really just seals the deal as the Frost show why they took this team comp. This Jinx got that triple kill earlier on, and that has just spelled doom and spelled the difference in this team fight. Agateo is behind on gold, as you mentioned, and so when Blade is unable to pick out the Jinx, it's just so much of a DPS diff at the moment. Scorch are trying to hold out for Blade and Agateo to really hit their power spikes. Agateo needs to get to 3 items, and he needs to get to his the Elder Dragon stacks. Currently sitting at 209, and so if this is only the 3rd dragon, if they can hold out from this Baron, they really have an opportunity to turn these things around. Otherwise, Cross and Whittle are going to try to close things out.
The Baron is on the 4. It's everybody but the Clone was able to pick up Baron there. That is going to be pretty impactful. It means if they, even if they're able to find one and take Baron off one of them, the rest of their team will still have it. Chapel's looking for the play here. Clone Ooh, will dodge out the taunt. Nice escape there. Pulling it down. But
Whittle's on the run.
Should have enough to secure this.
Whittle may try to go for the 1v2.
Can he win this? He is pretty fed at this point, so he's going to try.
No Stand United available. Chopples decides to stay.
Cross, meanwhile, so strong mid. Each auto dealing so much damage. And Demi in trouble. The rocket just on cooldown for Cross. Will not be able to find that assassination.
Whittle will find a short and engage bot side, but Penultimately and Chopples both backing away from the Blade. Blade on the flank.
Oh, forces the flash out of Kalka, but unable to find anything else. Meanwhile, Cross, a double kill right after getting excited from the tower. And the Bluetooth triple kill for Cross. 11, 3, and 7 in his first game here in the LCC.
Yeah, Cross, the complete rookie, the complete unknown elements going into this match, and showing up on the Jinx after that early triple, finding their way in these team fights in a big way. Jinx getting excited over and over again after Whittle Guy really shored up the early game and took the most advantage as he possibly could out of these scaling picks in the lanes. And Whittle Guy just keeping up so much pressure for his team now, moving into a tank build. And Cross just gonna keep moving from lane to lane, taking out these towers. They're really gonna be looking for a nice Stand United to stall out these team fights. Agateo should be about to hit his stacks, and then Blade needs to find a pick with the cage. Focusing on the bot side.
They already have mid tower, and the Freljord Frost are looking to find an end. Penultimately will go down here. The infinite duress in onto Blade. That will be the end of Blade's life. Us has to flash out, so maybe they can find a way forward. Dark Jedi very low. Agateo picks up the second kill.
Elder Drake is unlocked for Agateo, so we have that for the defense. Flash forward, finds Cross, can't find the kill for Agateo, killed out by Clone.
Yeah, beautiful snipe there from Clone on the back of that fight. Demi with the ultimate over top, but it won't be enough at this point, and Clone pushing forward. So much damage here on the way and straight in onto the Nexus. That's GG. And the Freljord Frost will walk away victorious here.